A good Erev Shabbos. It's really my schus and pleasure to share with you all some Divrei Torah. You know, this website is a phenomenal opportunity bringing our entire community together, whether it's to provide people with opportunities to buy and to sell, to get information, to share and learn Divrei Torah. It's a very special opportunity, Yashar Koach to you. And you should have a lot of success in Hatzlacha. In this week's Parsha, in Parshas Balak, we find the fascinating discrepancy in the language of the Pasuk, and there's a powerful lesson in it for each and every one of us. You know, at the beginning of the Parsha, when Balak sends a message to Bilam, asking him to come and curse the Jewish people, so he uses a language, Hine am yatza mi Mitzrayim, hine chisas eina oretz. He says the Jews are a nation that were yatza mi Mitzrayim. They left Mitzrayim, chisas eina oretz, they covered the eye of the land. And yet when Bilam feels it necessary a few psukim later to describe to HaKadosh Baruch Hu what's transpiring, he changes the language, and he says, in Pasuk Yud Aleph, he says, Hine ha'am hayotzei mi Mitzrayim, the nation that is going out of Egypt, vayichasas ein haaretz, they will cover the land. And Rav Moshe Feinstein explains that Bilam was explaining to Balak a great secret of Jewish identity, the secret of our survival, in fact. You know, Balak looked at the Jewish nation as the nation that had an exodus, that went out of Mitzrayim. We had incredible difficulty, and we had that emancipation, and now we went out. That's the past history. That's who we were. We were the people who had the exodus from Mitzrayim, and today we're going forwards. And, you know, Bilam was telling Balak that's not the secret of Jewish survival. You know, if you look at America, America's a great melting pot. And almost everybody, except for the Native Americans, aren't indigenous to America. You have Americans of Irish descent, of English descent, of African descent, of Filipino descent. All the nations in the world come together in this incredible, great country that we have the privilege to live in. But generally what happens is the first generation, people immigrate to America, and the first generation, they still have the accents, and the next generation loses the accent, they have the tradition. And eventually, a couple generations down, the part of being an American is to lose that heritage. And that's kind of what happens in a melting pot society, and that's the story of nations. And that's really what has happened historically to every nation in the progression of history. But Bilam is telling Balak, you have to understand the power and the might of Klal Yisrael to be able to overcome every obstacle that comes in their way, that comes in their path, is the special power. We're not people that were yatzam. We're not ha'am sheyatzam in Mitzrayim, the people that historically had a great exodus in the past. If you want to know who we are, we're the am hayotzei mi Mitzrayim. We always live with Yitzias Mitzrayim. We live with the reality, and you know, we tell it over. We say it Kriya Shema twice a day. We say it once a year on Pesach. We're always telling the story and living with the reality of Yitzias Mitzrayim, with the reality that we're people that have no destiny except that which HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us, the miraculous survival, the miraculous ability to survive and to overcome the obstacles that come in our way, and miraculously sustains us, whether it was through the brutality and the oppression in Mitzrayim, through the miraculous existence in the Midbar, through the Yam Suf, onwards to Eretz Yisrael, or throughout all the twists and the travails that the Jewish nation has had. We're always the Am Hayotzei mi Mitzrayim. We see ourselves constantly being taken out. We live through the hand of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, through the hashgacha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And when faced with adversity, with difficulty, with challenges that inevitably we have had and we will continue to have, the secret of our identity and our survival is that we know we're the Am Hayotzei mi Mitzrayim, and that will enable us to overcome everything that stands in our way. So when we learn Parshas Balak, and we learn about the difficulties, an evil man stood up and tried to destroy us, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu saved us, and as he continues always to guide us and protect us and bring us to greater heights, it's a time to stop and remember who we are. We're the Am Hayotzei mi Mitzrayim. And through the grace and the chesed and the hashgacha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, through his providence and his loving care and his kindness, he carries us in his arms, and he takes us further onwards to great success. We should be zeicha to always feel his presence and feel his guiding hand, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu should take us and guide us to success and hatzlacha always. Good Shabbos.